Thanks, Pedro, and welcome back, everybody. We are really looking forward to these 5 presentations and then the conversation we will have afterwards. What we have here, it's a mix of very emergent practices and consolidated architects, and we will try to, in a way, seek or look for the evidence of those processes that Charles recently in the morning mentioned. So the structure will be, we'll have a 10-minute presentation for each of them. I will invite them to be here in the podium, and then we will sit with Paloma Vera and Mario Ballesteros to have a conversation about what would be some responses to what we will see in what follows. So I wanted to start inviting to the podium to Mariana Tello and Israel Alvarez, who are 2 Mexican architects, co-founders of Módulo 11. They have collaborated with Tatiana Bilbao and Gerso Muron, and had also been engaged in a lot of interesting work as the Mexican pavilion in the Shanghai Biennale. Please, Mariana and Israel, come to the podium. Thank you.
Okay. It's a little bit high. Gracias. Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation to let us join this conversation about landscape and urbanism, both 2 important issues for cities today. I want to talk about landscape and as important design tool and how we apply this in our projects. Thanks to advances in technology, nowadays we can have different perspectives of city, like this amazing image taken by Pablo Lopez. And however, I believe that it's very important to walk and discover what is happening on the streets. This is an aerial view of Mexico City, and these lines represent how the city is organized into different districts. At the same time, these lines represent neglected areas of the city that have become blurred territories. These are 3 examples of what these spaces look like, and for us, these spaces become an opportunity to reconfigure the urban fabric. By introducing public space into these areas, we can create a better social environment. They also allow us to preserve and reproduce part of the memory of landscape. And in our office, we believe that architecture serves as a bridge to connect nature, culture, and people in order to improve the quality of life. And these are 3 of our projects where we have attempted to reconnect the city through landscape. The first project is located on a river on a city of Puebla, and which is 100 kilometers east of Mexico City. And the city of Puebla has grown along the river and still runs through the middle of the city. These images show the importance that the river used to have in the past, and today the river is totally neglected and is highly polluted and nobody seems to care. We've created a master plan divided into several phases, and we decided to start with a central area of the city. And these images refer the notion of movement that we wanted to address in the project, and the organic forms of the river allow us to think a linear park with different characteristics. The aim of the project was not only to create a linear park, but also to connect these 2 sections of the city and how to make people aware of the importance of the river. The project identifies the different land use around this area and suggests new activities along the linear park. These activities are followed by a new set of typologies at pathways, which are defined by the condition of the riverbank.
Hi, hello. Well, the second project is a competition by invitation, which is located in Mexico City. The aim of this competition was to redesign an existing park within the limits of Chapultepec Forest, which is one of the most important green areas in Mexico City. These images show the importance of this park. These images are from the 1950s, and well, the forest was very popular even then. And today, the forest is completely surrounded by the city, completely surrounded by big avenues, by busy streets. And the red mark is the site of the project. This is a picture of the site where we can see this important avenue isolates the park from the neighboring residential area. Therefore, one of the big goals of the project was to reconnect the park with the city and to open it to the public and to make it accessible. These images show the current conditions of the park, where we can see a fence which closes the park to the city, and we can also see that the park was underused and in a very poor conditions. So the big question for us was how to transform a crack, like an urban crack, into an element of union, which will then become a place for new activities. We use these images as reference. And then in our proposal, we remove the fence and we design a new pedestrian topography to invite people to enter the park. The proposal for the interior of the park was to consolidate the existing parking, the existing landscape, and to create new activities. Okay. This is the last project we want to show you. This is an intervention of public space located in the limits of the city of Pachuca. Okay. Well, the site is located on the city limits of Pachuca, but according to this projection of urban growth, within the next 30 years, the site will become part of the metropolitan area itself. The plot is located in the middle of several social housing developments which have neglected the site for many years. Despite its central location, the site has over time become a no man's land full of social disorders. And well, when we first visited the site, we realized that even though the plot was abandoned, local children were using it as a play area. As a starting point, we had meetings together with the community to help define the program for the new park. And from then, we established some design strategies inspired by one of the most representative landscapes of the state, which are these images, which are basalt rock formations. Because its unique geometry inspired us to have different programs within the project, within the park. We also imagined the park and its materiality as something very solid something permanent and like a park emerging from the earth. And well, this image is when we started the construction, because we did the construction for this project. Well, and we started with the groundworks, and we realized that sometimes just simple mounds of muddy earth could give a completely new experience to the local children. And because of that, it's coming. Sorry, hope so. Okay. Because of that, we designed a playground full of different heights to create a new topography for children to play. In the end, we couldn't do as much as we wanted to because the budget was very, very limited and restrictive. But with this very, very low budget, we managed to build the park. And one of the most important things, I guess, is to create community and to connect people with culture and with nature. Thank you.